We are honored to introduce our dear friend, Aron Sobel, the beautiful soul behind this important mission.
You're going to hear what it meant to have Aron as a friend. His kindness, his warmth, his smile, his imagination, sportsmanship, and a friend that everyone wanted to be around.
In honor of Aron and Assert, please put down your phones,
Buckle up,
and stay alert.
What do I remember about Aron Sobel? His smile. Just a beautiful, warm smile with those dimples. Great sense of humor, intelligence, kindness, acceptance for everyone around him, willing to help everybody around him. Just a zest for life. Sending all my love to the Sobel family, to Jill and to Stacy for all their work in the community. Mazel tov for this. And I just send all my love to everyone. And he is so missed and remembered fondly.
Hey everybody, I'm really sorry I can't join you for the banquet. Wish I could be there. I've told this story before, but I thought I'd share it again. When Aron and I traveled in Europe after college for a few weeks, Ben Cooper joined us for part of the trip. We used to get, typical backpackers dinner. We would buy a loaf of bread and a hunk of cheese, and then we need to split it. So the system we had, very Solomonic, was one of us would cut the two pieces in half, and the other person got to choose. So of course, if you're the person cutting, you have every incentive to get it exactly 50%. You don't want to give up the big piece to the other guy. We were competitive about everything, and hungry. And so Aron would usually say, no, Josh, you go ahead, you cut it, it's fine, I'll just take one of the two pieces after you cut it. And I would sit there and I would, if they say cut, measure twice, cut once, I would measure 5 or 6 times and cut once. I was really intent on us having exactly equal pieces, partially for hunger reasons, partially just to be competitive. And no matter what I did, no matter how careful I was, and no matter how illogical, Aron would look at my result, shake his head, and say, "That's Josh for you." It would drive me nuts, even though I knew he was just trying to get me, and even though it was illogical, it would drive me nuts. It was a good one, and I bring up the story because my son still to this day will say, "That's Josh for you," every time I cut something. So the story endures for another generation. I just want to say that given all the cynicism and terrible news that we're all dealing with right now, we all could have used Aron's smile and his optimism and positivity, I think, more than ever right now. So wishing everyone peace and better times ahead.
There are Jewish holidays that happen a few times a year where many people in the community we were growing up, where families would spend most of the day in synagogue, and it seemed inevitable that kids of a certain age would always end up in the finished basement of the Sobel house. It was down in that basement that Aron taught me the game of weightlifting chess. The way the game works is you move a chess piece, and then you agree upon in advance a certain number of repetitions that you have to do with a dumbbell before your opponent has to move. So there's some strategy to this game. You could do 10 or 20 reps really fast, but then you might tire yourself out and it would make it harder for you to think about what move you wanted to make. Or you could give yourself more time, but then you would give your opponent more time to think about the move that they wanted to make. Looking back, this was almost a ridiculous game to play against Aron, because if you could come up with some average score between brain and brawn, I'm sure Aron would have been far and away an outlier ahead of everyone else in the room. And the game always reminds me of things that are quintessentially Aron, and that it reflects the gifts that he was born with. and that he cultivated, both physical and intellectual. Decades later, I taught my kids this game. And because Aron taught that game to me, I was able to extend the time that I was able to beat my kids in chess by about a few months. And it's just another reason why I'm grateful that I knew him.
Hi, this is Adam Heller. Aron, it's the smile. That infectious, that disarming, that so bright smile that he had. That's what I think when I think of Aron. Of course, sports. He was sporty. Soccer, basketball, belly button tag. And then tefillah. I remember Aron Minha Metzer Karatia and Rabbi Shepard's tefillah. It was so inspiring, so heartfelt. And Aron now, not a month goes by where I don't think of him and remember him and appreciate my time with him. Blessed be his memory.
I think the thing I'll miss most about Aron is his smile and his giant dimples. Aron was probably one of the kindest people that I knew, a true mensch, and the loss of Aron was truly a loss for humanity and for this world.
Even when he was a kid, Aron was a leader. He wasn't a leader because he was the strongest one of us, although Aron was an amazing athlete, or the smartest of us all, even though Aron got great grades. He wasn't a leader because he was the one who had the best ideas, although he was incredibly funny. He was a great cartoonist. He was a great artist. He was a great pianist. Aron had all those qualities, but I think Aron was a great leader because he tapped into other people's best talents and he called on them to take risks and try new things. And that's who Aron was to me.
Although he went to medical school, he never got to practice medicine, so when I practice medicine, sometimes I think about him and how he probably would have been really natural with the patients and able to joke with them in the way that he typically did, telling jokes like one of his favorites, the famous "What's 5Q plus 5Q?" or something like that.
Dear Aron, although it's been so many years, you are central to my memories and my identity. Whenever I think of home, school, and growing up, you and lessons you taught me are always right there. I started at the JDS in 4th grade. Friends were difficult to find. I'm not sure if you were trying to be friendly or just wanting to make sure that the game would go on. With your big smile and your friendly nature, you reached out and said, "We need another player. Do you want to join?" Your seemingly small gesture for me was transformative. I went from feeling alone to feeling welcome. It was the beginning of our special friendship. At a young age, you were a natural leader. You taught us all so many important lessons: camaraderie, humor, sportsmanship, and achievement. You had this powerful quality that kept anyone in your space energized. As a team, during Saturday services, we were asked to help out with the juniors. With ease, you gathered so many kids to listen to a magical story that you created, The Boy with the 3 Rocks. Every week with a new adventure, you would take us on an action-filled journey through time. I never really knew if you prepared in advance or thought of them on the fly. However you did it though, you were really good. Saturdays, after services, could be drawn out waiting for the sun to set. Moving around the corner from you was just about the most amazing thing that could happen. After lunch, you put together the most fantastic tag football games. Cold, rain, and mud would not stand in your way. After the games, your parents opened their house, allowing us to relax, to joke, and to bond. Your basement was always the center of excitement. Everyone knew where to find the action. I'm so fortunate to have you as a friend, still with me in so many ways. Although no longer here with us, so much of me is because of you. I miss you so much and will always think of you and be grateful to you for all that you taught me.